And hype, folks. Hi, folks. How you doing today? Getting it kicked off. Let's go. What up, Weedy? Hey, Merc. Chilling out. I thought I'd do a little recap of what I just saw. Saw some things. Saw Trump holding a cabinet meeting, and it was a better dick-sucking contest than Kanye West and his cousin. Really bad. Really, really awful. Oh my god. Epic cringe. Epic cringe. I don't know how to describe it other than nasty. Really nasty. Really nasty. How you guys feeling? How you guys feeling about the current events that are unfolding? What I was watching, I don't think it's still going. I'll take a peek if it is. It may be. Yeah, they're still sucking them off. Look.
$2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally, but we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need. And we have to make a fair deal. We've been ripped off by every country in the world, but China, I would say, is the leading one, the leading candidate for the chief ripper offer.
Oh my fucking God.
Never been
Chief Ripper offer.
A country that's been ripped off more than the United States of America under some of the dumbest
Chief
leadership.
Ripper
and it
offer.
usually starts with the president. And you can go back, and I'm not just talking about Biden. It's been the worst. I mean, the trade deficits and everything else, he's been the worst. But he had no idea what he was doing. And I think somebody ought to look at the auto pen to find out who was really running this country, because it wasn't Biden. Because nobody could do. I mean, he put our country at risk, at tremendous risk, and fiscal risk, financial risk. So I think we have it very much. I really believe that the next 100 days is going to be even better than this. Look, I read an editorial yesterday from a group that normally wouldn't write a good, that this is the most consequential presidency in history, in the history of our
Yeah,
country. This is
negatively.
not a particular group that would write that kind of an editorial, but they see what we're doing and what we had to do. And I believe if this group, not just me, if this group wasn't here, I think our country was going to be in, if it was lucky, just serious trouble, but a lot worse than that. I think our country could have been a total disaster. Bad things were happening with our country, and we've stemmed the tide, we've turned it around, but we're going to really turn it around over the next 3 years, 3.5 years. We're going to turn it around, and then hopefully it'll be in such great shape. That's my goal, to put it in such great condition that it can't be destroyed.
Anybody buying this shit?
You mentioned this last night in your speech in Macomb, but we're facing an unprecedented situation where there's a lot of abuses of nationwide injunctions, sort of seemingly designed to curtail your power, specifically when it comes to deporting these illegal, violent aliens that came in under the previous administration.
Oh yeah, like the 4-year-old kid they just deported who was a U.S. citizen.
Continue to deliver for the American
Yeah,
people on
well,
that
there are
aspect.
ways to mitigate it, and there's some very strong ways. There's one way that's been used by 3 very highly respected presidents, but we hope we don't have to go that route. But there is one way that has been used very successfully by 3 presidents, all highly respected, and hopefully we don't have to go that way.
Who are
But
they?
There are ways
Name
of
'em.
mitigating that. I want to thank you all very much. I thought this was an incredible cabinet meeting. I think has never been a cabinet meeting like this, and you've never seen it on tape, that I can tell you. And I want to just congratulate
look at
everybody
submissive
at the
little
table.
Marco
We have
there.
a lot of work to do, but we're off to a great start. Thank you very much,
Do
everybody.
you enjoy, Mr. President, leaving the White House back second time?
Thank you,
How's
everybody.
your life here?
Thank you, everybody.
I'm working hard. I like my life. I'm working hard, but I like it because we're doing a lot of good for a lot of people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
All right, come on, let's get a Pete Hegseth hot mic. I'm waiting for the hot mic, guys, before I leave. Where's the hot mic? Oh, come on. Anyways, if you want to watch some excellent dick sucking going on, it was Kanye West times 10.
Is setting the table for peace deals, trade deals, tax deals. So the next 100 days we'll be harvesting. You've created negotiating leverage and leadership that are going to yield remarkable results. Energy costs have plummeted. Mortgage rates are down, food costs are moving lower, and American families are finding their financial footing again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Financial footing, guys. We're finding our footing. I went in to go buy a new dishwasher yesterday because my dishwasher divorced me. And it was $421 after tax. I said, all right, I'll be back tomorrow. He's like, well, I got to put the prices up here soon. All the prices are going up. But if you come tomorrow, I'll save you the price. I'm like, okay. I wonder, I didn't ask. Is the tariffs going to do it? But something tells me it's going to go up 25% or more really soon in the next coming week or two. So, yeah, maybe it was a ploy to get in there and Sell me a dishwasher early? I don't know. Or quick? I don't know. Actually, I do fucking know. Prices are going to go up. Prices are going to go up. Up, up, up. And we are not going to find stabilization in our finances as a country. We are screwed, guys. We are screwed. Let's get into a little bit of the screwiness. Yeah? Hey, Dexter, Spartacus, Richard Don Quixote, Weedy, I saw Merc pop in. Mercado Gaming popped in. Shout out to Mercado Media. Let's see what we got going on in the world of the TikTok feed. I saved a bunch of stuff. We're going to go into kind of long one right off the bat. Wait, check this out. This is kind of cool. We'll do a little Nature's Ultimate Light Show. Yeah, nothing signifies 100 days in office other than an electronic volcano lightning storm. A friendly reminder of how insignificant we truly are on this tiny little rock. Very, very tiny little rock. All right, let's go into that. We're gonna start out kind of long and hard here. Let's go into here.
Welcome to the first 100 days of Donald Trump's failed attempt to remake American society, which has been an absolute and total unmitigated disaster. And I'll build on what was said just a moment ago. Not only was this how to destroy the world's greatest economy in 100 days, I will say it was how to destroy the world's greatest democracy, its economy, and its world standing in 100 days, because that is exactly what Donald Trump has done over the last 3.5 months. Now, let's make something very clear. Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Doge, these billionaires who are serving in the cabinet around him are not here to make American life better. They are here to steal from us. They are here to remake American society in their image, and they are here to take over our government and dismantle it from within. Over the last 100 days, they have literally fired tens of thousands of Americans. They have signed hundreds of executive orders and taken hundreds of executive actions, resulting in mass firings, dismantling of agencies, data mining of your sensitive data over our government, hurting real Americans, teachers, firefighters, veterans, and all along the way, they've been self-dealing, giving themselves contracts, Elon Musk taking off with literally billions of dollars in his pocket in new contracts. Now, is it any question that
why is it so hard for the American people to see this? Not the American people, because the American people are seeing this now, right? 39% approval rating, the worst in our lifetimes and our parents' lifetimes, for the most part. Why is his base not? Are they just too busy just whacking it, just loving it to see their 401ks drop and to see all the issues that we're having right now?
Any of this is historically unpopular with the American people. In fact, the polling as of this week shows that almost 2/3 of Americans believe that they are doing a terrible job, whether that's Elon Musk or Doge or what Donald Trump is doing with the economy and his tariffs and immigration. The American people are speaking loud and clear. They do not want what Donald Trump is serving. So, I am here to join the American people in saying enough is enough. Enough with the lies, enough with the secrecy, enough with the grift, fraud, waste, and abuse. Hands off our Social Security, hands off our veterans, hands off our communities, hands off our Medicaid, hands off the vital housing and food assistance programs that our communities depend on, and hands off our environment. We will not stand for this. as progressives, as the Progressive Caucus, we call on the American people to join us, to continue to speak up, speak out, keep marching, keep showing up, keep calling Republican offices, keep organizing, because we will take back our democracy, because we will make sure that our colleagues across the aisle stand up and are held accountable, and we will take back this House in the midterms and restore the sanity and democracy of this country.
All right. Well, yes, Spartacus. Yeah, we'll get into that for sure. We are approaching the golden age of America, guys, and Trump was 100% responsible for it. 100%. Trump is responsible for the golden age of America, because after his election cycle, the Democrats are taking the House and the Senate for the next 50 years. Because he is fucking the country so bad. It is absolutely going to happen. Mark my words. Clip that. Clip that. Yeah, we'll watch him argue about fake tattoos on legal immigrants in a minute. What else is exploding in our nation right now?
My colleagues, you're going to hear a lot of stories about.
All right, we're gonna go into this a little more here. This is getting in depth. This is Chris Murphy, Senator Chris Murphy, Connecticut. It is 24 minutes long, but he nails it. I watched this earlier this morning. Last night. It's blending together. I've been really busy. Really busy. About 25 minute speech. He absolutely kills it here, though, guys. So let's go through this. Get your drinks. I got my protein shake here with a little recovery. I've been doing a lot of yard work. My body's really sore. I've been going hard outside. It's beautiful, guys. I wish you could see how nice it is. Beautiful spring day in Northern California. God, the environment even feels better right now. Everything. Like, I live in kind of a crummy neighborhood. Not terrible, but yeah, everything seems nice. There's honey. There's hummingbirds out. There's bees, honeybees out. Not a lot of tweakers. Maybe one guy walking up and down, picking up trash, tweaking. But he's picking up trash, so who cares? Let's get into it.
About the first 100 days of Donald Trump's second presidency, and indeed there are a lot of stories. There's a story of incompetence. We are dealing with multiple measles outbreaks all across the country. There is a story of abdicating our responsibility to lead around the world. Vladimir.
Hey guys, also I'm gonna put a link probably after the stream's over. I got a cool little volunteer Azov shirt right here from Sunflower Society in Sacramento. Pretty dope. If you guys are interested, I'll put the Sunflower Society's website. I don't know if they're selling them off there, but you could contact them. They could probably get you one. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it was a donation. Shout out to Sunflower Society in Sacramento for the badass shirt.
Putin is laughing at us as Trump goes about the business of handing Ukraine to a brutal Kremlin dictator. There is a story of transferring wealth from the poor and the middle class through massive cuts to Medicaid to the very, very wealthy who are asking for another massive tax cut. But I would argue, Mr. President, that the most important story to tell is a story of corruption, a story of mind-blowing, massive, scalable corruption. That story is important because we are watching the theft of taxpayer money by the decision of the Republican Party to look the other way as Donald Trump essentially monetizes at scale the White House and the powers given to him by the Constitution of the American people in order to enrich himself and his friends. And if we don't tell this story, and if we don't mount a national, bipartisan, apolitical resistance to this thievery, to this corruption, and it becomes normalized as just a part of doing business in America, a normal facet of residents in the White House, then shame on us, because our democracy will not survive this level of corruption, grift, and graft.
I love the fact that they're calling it what it is, a grift. And there's so many levels of grift. I saw this. I knew this was going to happen. He was going to do micro transaction grifts throughout the entire presidency in all elements. We're seeing all elements. And as soon as he figures out the real estate market and how to grift that, that's going to come next. I guarantee you. With the real estate tycoon, that's his specialty. He's going to figure out how to grift the real estate market, which sucks for a lot of us homeowners. It's concerning. I don't think he can do much as far as my mortgage goes, because it's a fixed rate and everything. But as far as like insurance, as far as like communities where he could target, cut off aid to communities, let's say like California where I live, where we have massive fires all the time. I think like 60% of the fires are on federal land that start because unmaintained, and everybody complains about California not having maintained forests. That's federal, right? And then the only time we actually throw money in the state is when we've already completed our state land, which I don't know if you guys have seen a state land. It's very well maintained. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure all funding will be cut he already made a huge cut to the fire funding, which is concerning because we've had 3 years of really nice rain. And usually after we get 3 years of rain where I live, it turns into a desert for the next 10 years. And we have a really bad fire season afterwards because all the vegetation's up. Come summer, everything will be crispy, dry. Lots of rain brings lots of undergrowth, brings lots of fire. I am predicting a very, very bad fire season coming this. It's probably going to start late September, October, which I will be covering live if I can. It might be complicated for me to do, but I'll figure out how to do it, and we'll go from there.
So I'm going to try to tell this story really quickly. I've got two charts, and it's hard to read. These words are really small because,
fires are a thing of the past. He turned on the big faucet months ago. Nice. Oh, yeah, speaking of which, that big faucet killed all the whales and dolphins down there. We'll get into that.
Over the course of 100 days, there are 40, 50, 60 different individual acts of precedent-breaking corruption. And that's intentional because what President Trump is trying to do is engage in so much public corruption that you just become normalized to it, that you stop paying attention to the corruption because can it be corruption if it's just playing out in public? He's trying to make you think that this stuff happens all the time behind the scenes, and now all that is different is that you are seeing it publicly. But that's not true. This is not actually how government works. And I refuse to accept that just because the corruption is happening in public, in front of the cameras for everybody to see, that we should accept it.
We are absolutely being overloaded and inundated with corruption right in front of our face. This is a Soviet tactic. We're straight in Krasnov's world now, where the corruption is just so there. I mean, the only hope is, let's say midterms going blue, I don't even know. I don't even know if they can impeach him at that point. Because they might be able to. We'll see. But the corruption is there. It's in every, like I said, micro grifts in just about every aspect that they've touched. We'll get into how they've fired all the auditors, basically just turned it a free for all. They can do whatever they want now, pretty much.
Okay, I'm going to try to do this, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. I'm just going to highlight for you maybe the 40 most egregious examples of corruption in the first 100 days, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. So on January 6th, this is before Trump is even sworn in, Amazon, which has a ton of business before the incoming Trump White House, pays $40 million to the Trump family to license a documentary in a series about Melania Trump. Just a cash payment from a company that has huge interests before the incoming White House to the Trump family. On January 17th, a few days before Trump is sworn in, maybe the most corrupt act in the history of the White House. This is the creation of the Trump meme coin. This is just a backdoor way for anybody with business before the Trump.
Did you guys dump all your money in the meme coin? I got this guy by Facebook. Loves Doge coin. Loves coins. Crypto. Oh, buy now, buy now, buy now. I'm like, dude, yeah, buy. Watch what happens. And we got into it a little bit. I can't wait Can't wait to do my next post on that wonderful meme coin.
Administration to send him millions of dollars in total secret. Trump doesn't disclose who buys the coin. He launders his income from the coin through an unregulated Chinese exchange. He promotes the coin on his social media feeds. In the first minute of trading, one buyer, and what we know is that this was likely a Chinese individual, purchases 6 million coins, sending the price through the roof and immediately making a ton of money for Trump, who makes money off of every transaction. Trump knows who this person is, no doubt, but American citizens do not. All right.
Shout out to China. China winning. China winning because we're being grifted by an oligarchy that has no lines on a border. Donald Trump does not care about the United States. He doesn't care about borders. He doesn't care about the rule of law. All he cares about is making his oligarchy friends richer, and they are taking over our world in multiple nations. Russia, China, Venezuela, North Korea, Iran probably. Maybe not Iran.
January 20th, he's now sworn in, and he fulfills a campaign promise to the oil and gas industry. There's a report from the campaign that says they came down to Mar-a-Lago, I think, and said, we'll give you $1 billion in campaign contributions. This is not me alleging this. This is an open report. Oil and gas industry say we'll give you $1 billion in campaign contributions if you do what we want when you are sworn in. And the day he's sworn in, Trump issues an executive order gutting environmental rules so that the oil and gas industry can start making bigger amounts of money. On January 25th, Trump eliminates the inspectors general, the ethics officials in government, and whistleblower offices. It's a late-night purge, so you know it's fishy. On January 25th, 17 inspector generals get fired, clearing the way for the president to engage in even more corruption, because that's what the inspectors general do. They sit in these agencies and they look for corruption. Now the inspectors general are gone. They're just gone. But that's not good enough, because on that same day, Trump fires the head of the Office of Special Counsel. Why would you do that? Well, that office is an investigative and prosecutorial office that works to end government and political corruption and protects government employees who become whistleblowers. That office is gone now, along with all of the whistleblowers. 2 days later, Trump illegally fires NLRB member Quinn Wilcox. This effectively shuts down illegally the NLRB for a period of time. Why is that important? Because the guys who were standing behind Donald Trump on Inauguration Day, people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they are being investigated at the moment by the NLRB for massive workplace violations. And now the NLRB is shut down, a big gift to the people who financed Donald Trump's inauguration and stood behind him to give him political endorsement and cover on.
So basically, they're making the way for huge sweatshops in America. You know that meme, the Chinese meme they put out where everybody, all the Americans are sitting there? The morbidly obese Americans are sitting there sewing clothing. I mean, legit, this is coming to fruition. It's crazy. It's crazy. And working standards, I'm sure they're going to plummet. This is only a start.
His inauguration day. On January 31st, a trend begins. Enforcement actions are paused against Trump loyalists. This is Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee. He was being investigated for loans made to illegal or potentially illegal loans made to his 2022 campaign. But right after Rep. Ogles introduces a bill to amend the Constitution to allow Trump to serve for a third term, what happens? Trump makes the investigation go away. Because as you will see, Trump's justice system will often look the other way if you cheat or steal, but you are a friend of Donald Trump's. At the same time, another of Trump's friends, his IRS nominee, Billy Long, gets his donors. Almost all of them have direct interest before the IRS to pay off his six-figure campaign debt. It's a fabulously corrupt thing to do, but it's just all normal now. So when Trump is showing you the way, then the folks who work for him follow suit. All right, we'll jump to February now. February 4th, we're into what? Week 2 of the Trump White House. Trump hauls the PGA and the Saudi government into the White House to broker an agreement between the two rival golf leagues so that Trump can make more money hosting golf tournaments. He's in business with one of these entities. the Saudi-owned LIV League. In a normal world, the President of the United States wouldn't be in business with any foreign government, but the President is, and not only is that okay, but it is also apparently okay for him to bring the golf league that he's in business with into the White House and pressure the other golf league, the rival golf league, to cut a deal. And guess what happens? The PGA, which had long said they were not going to host events at Trump's courses after being hauled into the White House, looking the President of the United States.
Okay, I got a question here. I just saw a comment. Let me go back up. I'm doing multiple. Dude, I'm way over caffeinated right now. I'm so caffeined out. This is how the movie Civil War starts. Okay, so hypothetically, I need someone that knows more than me about the whole process in this. Articles of impeachment goes to House of Representatives, right? Let's say midterms go blue, Senate goes blue, House goes blue. Articles of impeachment arrive. Passes the House. Senate holds a trial. Trump's impeached. Does somebody need to sign him out of office, or once, let's say, he is brought to trial through the Senate, is it done then? Or does one of his cabinet members, say his vice president, have to sign him out? I need someone who knows more than me about that to answer that question for me. Because if he is impeached and removed from office, I do feel like it will lead to bloodshed, unfortunately. I feel like he has enough loyalists that got all my guns. They got all my guns. They might have some crazies out there to do some stupid shit, and it might turn into something really scary.
States in the eye, somebody they clearly have to do business with, they announced that they're going to start allowing their tournaments to be held at Trump courses. Big benefit to Donald Trump's personal bottom line. February 6th, 2 days later, Trump ends the criminal enforcement of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Do you know what this is? You should. It requires people who are being paid by foreign governments to register. It's no longer going to be enforced. So now members of the Trump administration can get backdoor payments from foreign governments, and nobody is going to enforce the law. This isn't theoretical. There were people who got arrested for doing this exact same thing, getting paid by foreign governments while working for the Trump administration in term one. He wants to make sure it's not a problem in term two, so he pauses enforcement of the actual act. 4 days later, Trump eliminates the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. This is just a magnificent present to all of his billionaire enablers, because this is the agency that stops big businesses, banks, other financial firms from ripping off consumers, and now it's just shut down. Same day, DOJ drops charges against Eric Adams in a mind-blowingly public and brazen quid pro quo. Adams says he will pledge loyalty to Trump, that he's going to support Trump's political priorities in New York City. Trump drops the corruption charges against Adams. Just like the Ogles case, the door is now wide open to engage in corruption or criminality as long as you support Donald Trump. The thing that makes this one so egregious is that Adams and the White House go on TV to announce the corrupt deal, and they don't hide it. They just say that Adams is now supporting Donald Trump, and we're now going to drop the charges against him, and everybody gets the message. There's a lot of stuff I can get away with as a corrupt official as long as I am in bed politically with Donald Trump. Same day, February 10th, DOJ pauses enforcement of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. This is the law that stops American companies from
Okay, so it depends on the level of impeachment. If him and Vance go, the Mike Johnson becomes the president. Okay, well, J.D. Vance cannot be president. I feel deep down inside he would be worse than Donald Trump times 10. Mike Johnson, I think Mike Johnson would be a better candidate out of the three because he's a pushover. And he would cave to a lot of things, I feel like. I don't feel like I feel like, not that he's sensible, I feel like he's weak. And that would be better because he could cave to demands. Unlike Trump, who's just a fucking megalomaniac, and Vance, who likes fucking couches.
Bribing foreign governments in order to get business. On February 10th, Trump suspends enforcement of an anti-bribery statute, paving the way for his friends in corporate America to start bribing foreign governments. Again, 2 days later, The State Department forecasts that they are going to dramatically upscale the amount of money that they're going to send to Tesla. This is the first time that Elon Musk shows up in this story, because by February 12th, Elon Musk is pretty well embedded in the White House, and guess what? The State Department is now going to spend $400 million for armored Teslas.
Okay, so Johnson won't be the Speaker of the House, right? Johnson won't be the Speaker of the House if Democrats have the House. Good point.
Its largest expected contract in the upcoming year. February 12th, same day, Musk infiltrates the Department of Labor and OSHA, giving him exclusive secret access to labor law violation data against him and his competitors. Unethical, corrupt, but this stuff is just happening every single day. A few days later, on February 15th and 16th, Musk now starts really testing the limits of what his boss will let him get away with. He fires a specific set of regulators at the FDA that are reviewing one of his medical products, Neuralink. The message is clear. You got to do right by my applications, or you risk getting the axe too. 3 days later, on February...
Does anybody here think putting a computer chip inside of your brain is a good thing? Anybody?
19th, Trump's new U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C., Ed Martin, starts to use his government power to harass Trump critics. He launches something called Operation Whirlwind, and he's pretty unapologetic about the fact that this is going to be an enforcement operation against anybody who just seeks to get in the way of DOJ. He doesn't say it's going after people who are acting illegally. He says anybody who tries to stop or protest or harass DOJ's work is now going to be the subject of Operation Whirlwind. And he starts trolling critics of DOJ online. The U.S. attorney for D.C. is now just trolling DOJ critics online, obviously threatening criminal enforcement. You see what's happening here? We're 30 days into the administration, and everybody in Trump's world, including these supposedly independent U.S. attorneys, are getting the message that it is now part of your job, if you work for Trump, to use your government powers to either enrich yourself or Trump or to help Trump politically. February 21st, 2 days later, the SEC drops a major investigation into a company called Robinhood. Why does this matter? You guessed it. This firm donated $2 million to Trump's inauguration fund. 30 days later, the SEC drops an investigation into that firm. Put a pin.
Isn't Robinhood a crypto site?
In that, because you're going to hear stories like it over and over again. Throughout February, we watched the rich guys that are surrounding Trump come up with new ways to monetize their positions. Kash Patel is a perfect example. He's the nominee to head the FBI, and maybe the most important independent bureau in the federal government. And while he is going through that process, he is selling merchandise online, ranging from T-shirts to playing cards, with the proceeds supposedly going to whistleblowers, education, and defamation cases. February 26th, news breaks that the FAA...
Yeah, I got in a big debate with somebody on... Not a big debate. I was just trolling them because they're fucking idiots. But on Facebook, I was dealing with a MAGA, and she was saying great things about great things about Trump and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yes, make America great. God bless Elon. Go get your Neuralink chip. Get it today. He'll save you. And she was like, well, I don't know about the chip, Mark of the Beast and all, haha, just in case. I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me that you knew he had Neuralink. You knew he was going to get a job in government, in the Department of Government Efficiency, but he might be the Antichrist, so I'm not going to get the chip, but I'm going to vote for him to put him in power. What?
is considering giving a $2.4 billion contract.
Well, it's fine as long as he doesn't put the chip. We'll just put him in charge. It's no big deal. It's Antichrist. Fuck it. I just won't take his chip. Let's give him all the power.
To Elon Musk's Starlink. But it's not like a regular contract yet, but there are regular reports of the administration still relentlessly attacking Verizon in a clear attempt to try to undermine their contract. February 27th, the next day, Trump drops a lawsuit against Capital One. Why does this matter? Capital One donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. It's now just kind of automatic. You donate a big amount of money to Trump's inauguration, and you can ask him for something. We're not done. That same day, the SEC drops a lawsuit against Coinbase. You got the story now. Coinbase donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. They are now told that it's okay to keep cheating consumers. We're not done. On February 28th, a day later, the DOJ announces that it would drop a complaint against SpaceX, Elon Musk's SpaceX, for labor discrimination. Elon's like, wait a second, all these other big donors to your inauguration are getting out of jail free. I want my get out of jail free card as well. He gets it from DOJ. We're now into March. March 1st.
Guys, if you could, hit the like, share it out, please. Hit the like, share it out. We got a little more to cover today. It would be great to get some more subs. If you haven't subbed, please consider subbing today. I would appreciate it.
A report breaks. This is maybe second to Coinbase, the most stunning act of corruption. On March 1st, word breaks that Trump is selling meetings at Mar-a-Lago. On at least one occasion, Trump has charged guests $1 million to dine with him at Mar-a-Lago. According to the same report, business leaders can secure a one-on-one meeting with the President of the United States for a $5 million payment to Donald Trump. If you were mayor of a medium-sized town and it was reported that you were selling meetings for like $200, you would be arrested. You would be run out of town, but not Donald Trump. He's selling meetings for $5 million, according to this report. And because of the corruption in this White House is daily and normal, he gets away with it. March 2nd, Trump launches the Crypto Reserve Fund. This is going to involve government taxpayer dollars purchasing and holding a variety of digital assets in a strategic reserve fund, a move that definitely inflates and protects Trump's investment portfolio, by now, you understand, very heavily dependent on crypto assets. Now, this normally wouldn't be a problem because normally when somebody takes a high position like president or governor or mayor, they divest from their own personal assets or they put it all in a blind fund. Trump does none of that. He's controlling his own assets. His family is controlling their own assets while he makes policy that benefits himself and his family financially. On March 3rd, a really curious thing, DOJ intervenes in an obscure but open and shut 2020 Colorado elections case. This is the case of Tina Peters, who tampered with voting machines on Trump's behalf in Mesa County, Colorado. She was convicted by a jury of her peers, open and shut. But because Peters is a MAGA loyalist, now DOJ on March 3rd says it's going to step in and review the case because there are concerns about how it was prosecuted. This is just President Trump, again, clearly shielding those that violated the law to help him from consequences. Same thing, different day. No, not even a different day. This is actually still March 3rd. Yuga Labs, a blockchain company.
Okay, we're 33 days in, guys.
They donated $100,000 to Trump inauguration fund. They now get in line. They get what everybody else is getting. The SEC closes an ongoing investigation into the company. On March 4th, DOJ lays off thousands of IRS employees. This is bad for a lot of reasons, but it certainly helps Trump's Mar-a-Lago friends because the IRS now cannot enforce the law against the big, giant tax cheats in the way that it could have when it had those personnel on the books. Mar-a-Lago is celebrating. March 4th, same day, word breaks.
You know, the good thing about that is I believe that they can audit somebody, isn't it up to 10 years? 10 years for auditing. So even if the auditors are cut now, after it's all said and done, if the auditors come back, and if they choose to, which they should for the benefit of the American people and the clear grifting that is going on, they should audit every one of these motherfuckers involved and take them to the cleaners and get our money back.
That the Commerce Department is considering changes to this very specific rural broadband program and who's eligible. Why? Because Elon Musk wants to dominate that program. Under the program's original rules, Starlink was kind of capped at $4.1 billion. This curious change now will allow Elon Musk's company Starlink to receive between $10 billion and $20 billion from the rural broadband program. This is like a broken record, but 6 days later, the CFPB, which is basically shut down but exists in name only, it drops a lawsuit against the Bank of America and JP Morgan. Bank of America donated $500,000 to the inauguration. JP Morgan donated $1 million to the inauguration. On March 11th, a day later, Trump and Musk hold this now very well-known advertisement for Tesla on the White House lawn. This is just taxpayer dollars used to support the personnel at the White House and the White House being used to sell cars for Elon Musk. And the message, again, is pretty simple here. If you are loyal to me and you pay any kind of price for your loyalty to me, I will use government resources to help you, to get you out of trouble, even including free advertising. On March 19th, or 8 days later, the GEO Group donated $500,000 to Trump's inauguration fund. This is a private prison company, and the NLRB drops its investigation into this company. I mean, it's really getting disgusting at this point.
Dropping investigations into private prison companies. Gee, what could be going on there?
I mean, I don't know that there's anybody left that made a major donation to the inauguration fund that has not gotten their favor from Donald Trump. On March 24th, the Treasury...
I'm getting a spinning wheel, too. Let me check something. Why is my bite rate running so slow? Guys, my computer crashed right before the stream. I have to call CLX and get a new video card. They troubleshot it. And yeah, I've experienced 4 crashes. Let me check something. Oh, there's nothing I can fix right now. Let's give it a second. All right, there we go. It's coming back. Can I get a Hanya? Can I get a Hanya in the chat? It was short. Okay, coming back.
To reveal their true owners to the government. These new rules now make it easier for billionaires to hide money, to avoid taxes, to engage in corruption. Less accountability for corporations. March 25th, a day later, the SEC reduces from $125 million to $50 million an existing fine. So this has already been litigated. This company, Ripple, it's a blockchain-based digital payment company. It's been fined, and Trump comes in and reduces the fine from $125 million to $50 million. You know the story by now. These guys made a big investment in the inauguration. Most of these companies that got to get out of jail free or have their investigations terminated were giving $500,000 to $1 million. Ripple wanted to make sure they got it right. They made a $5 million donation to Trump's inaugural fund, and they got their fine reduced by $75 million. March 28th, Trump pardons the founder of Nikola Autos, one of his campaign mega donors. Again, this is a pardon for one of his major campaign contributors. When asked about the pardon, Trump said, they say the thing they did was wrong, but he was one of the first people who supported me for president. Like, he just tells you what he did. He said, yeah, they said what he did was wrong. I mean, he did something that was probably pretty wrong, but he supported me for president, so I'm giving him a pardon. I'm not saying that there hasn't been a lot of really bad stuff that's happened in the pardon program under Democratic and Republican presidents, but let's just name it when Donald Trump names it. April 8th, we're into April. Trump issues an executive order to expand coal mining. This is part of his down payment on the promise he made to those oil executives. The shares of the company owned by by Joseph Kraft, the billionaire coal magnate who helped lead those Trump fundraising efforts during the presidential campaign, immediately shoots up. On April 9th, this really curious timeline of events plays out in which Trump posts on his social media, this is a great time to buy. A lot of his followers comply. They make investments in the market. There's reports and speculation that many of his inner circle might have done the same thing. And then a couple hours later, he announces that he's pausing most of his tariffs. And the market shoots up. People who followed his directions online make a lot of money. And potentially other people who had access to that insider information might have made a lot of money as well. On April 17th, Musk steers billions of taxpayer dollars to something called the Golden Dome. Reuters on April 17th reports that Elon Musk's rocket and satellite company, SpaceX, has emerged as the front runner to develop Trump's proposed Golden Dome. This is a really ill-defined, technologically unproven defense system. It supposedly has a price tag of hundreds of billions of dollars, money that now looks as if it will be funneled directly to Elon Musk. At this point, it is just head shaking. On April 23rd, now it's like he can do anything he wants. Like, he has just blown the lid off of any expectations about what a president can and cannot do to enrich himself. On April 23rd, a message appears on the homepage of the website for Trump's meme coin declaring that the top 220 meme coin holders would be invited for an exclusive dinner with Trump, and the top 25 coin holders, these are private investors in Donald Trump's financial empire, would get a special VIP tour of the White House. After the message went up, the price of Trump's coin jumped by more than 50%. In the 2 days following the announcement of the special VIP tour in the People's House, the White House, Trump and his allies made nearly $1 million in trading fees alone. They are just selling access to the White House out in the open. April 26th, Trump's family, this is just last weekend, announces the launch of a private club called the Executive Branch, a new private club in Washington. The initiation fee is around $500,000. It is advertised as a place where you can hold secret audiences with the Trump administration as long as you pay Donald Trump's family and their financial backers over $500,000 in membership fees. It is apparently already sold out. This is not normal. None of this is normal. This is outlandish. This is illegal. This is unconstitutional, brazen corruption. And this is only the first 100 days. I just detailed 40 instances of mind-blowing corruption in just 40 days, capped off by an attempt to just sell access to the White House to people who put money in the pocket of Donald Trump's personal businesses. Donald Trump wants to numb this country into believing that this is just how government works, that he's owed this, that every president is owed this, that government has always been corrupt and he's just doing it out in the open. But this is not how government works. This has been the story of his first 100 days.
Do you know what government does this? And it's completely acceptable because they've been pummeled into it? Take one guess what country I'm talking about.
But it's our choice as a nation to allow it to be the story of the rest of his term. We need to expose what he is doing. We need to rally everybody from the left to the right. Nobody in this country, whether you are a hardened conservative or a hardened progressive, should root for the President of the United States to be enriching himself off of this position. We need to rally this nation against this corruption and bring it to an end. Because if Donald Trump gets what he wants, and we just start allowing our government's leaders to openly steal from us during the first 100 days or for the rest of his term, then I am telling you, American democracy is not going to survive. I yield the floor.
Spartacus says Russia and China. Okay, yeah, banana republics, maybe more than one. The one that comes to mind in my mind is Russia. Very Russian-esque, what is happening in the first 100 days of office. Very much so. Pummeled with corruption. This is just normal business, normalizing the behaviors, right? We've already accepted his outlandish viewpoints and complete lack of respect for other people. We've accepted that as normality right now. At least his base has. A lot of people haven't, but geez, it has infected America. And now here it comes. Here we go. Now we see the effects of it. Now we see money moving in the hands of billionaires. The separation of wealth between the middle class, upper class, and the poor are just going to get it really bad. Really bad. Bernie, I think this is bad timing, him reintroducing this bill. It's not going to go anywhere. But, I mean, it makes sense. I feel like reintroducing the same bill right now, it's just more of a political stunt, but we'll watch it.
Today, Pramila, Debbie, and I are introducing Medicare for All single-payer legislation. Our legislation would provide comprehensive care to all Americans, rich, poor, young, or old, with zero out-of-pocket expense. It would provide full freedom of choice regarding health care providers. You go to the doctor, the nurse that you want to. No more insurance premiums, no more deductibles, no more co-payments, no more filling out endless forms. No more fighting with the insurance companies to get what you paid for.
Yeah, I understand why he's bringing this up too from a different perspective. Now that the tide is kind of moving to where people are seeing Trump's bullshit and obviously the economy's doing shit, he's bringing this up now because he's got the steam and momentum, and this is something he has campaigned on religiously as his main topic for, oh shoot, as long as I knew he was alive, right? So I can see why he's bringing it up. However, it's not going to go anywhere. He would have had more weight even if Trump was president after the midterms. It would have had more weight. It wouldn't have probably gone anywhere. It'd just get vetoed when it got to his desk. However, it probably would have had more weight. It's not going to make it out of the House.
And comprehensive means comprehensive. It means covering dental care, vision, hearing aids, prescription drugs, and home health care. And you know what else this legislation does? It says to millions of workers in this country, you don't have to stay at a job you don't want to be at just because you have health care at that job.
And I know a lot of people, will take jobs just for the medical insurance. They'll have a medical condition they don't disclose, which you don't have to, but they'll go there and they'll get in this position because they get better medical care. And they'll all of a sudden, after probationary period's over or after a few months, they'll go on LOA for medical reasons and you won't see them, which is fine. But we shouldn't have to do that, right? But it happens. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't, like, I'm all on for the Medicare for All Act. This is a great act. It's just not going to go anywhere right now. But him refreshing it now, I guess it's been stagnant for so long. I guess it makes sense to do. It's just not going to go anywhere. I don't know. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong there. Yeah, let's go here.
Going forward, you're always going to have now a person in my position who's going to be dependent on the...
So here is Hampton Dellinger. So I think he's going to talk about the watchdogs getting fired.
President's good graces. That is not how Congress set up the position. That's not how it's been for the past 50 years. But that independence, that protection is gone.
And the message that sends to the watchdog agencies in general is what?
I don't think we have watchdog agencies anymore. The inspector generals are gone. The head of the Office of Government Ethics is gone. I'm gone. The independent watchdogs who are working on behalf of the American taxpayers, on behalf of military veterans, they've been pushed out.
Before Hampton Dellinger was pushed out, he was head of the Office of Special Counsel, no relation to the office of the same name that prosecuted President Trump. Dellinger's office is where federal workers can bring employment complaints and where so-called whistleblowers, government employees, can report wrongdoing.
Going forward, you're always going to have now...
So basically everything, all the checks and balances are gone right now. There is no more whistleblowing without repercussion. You will get fired. They've silenced everybody who's keeping an eye on them. This is kind of good. This dude just confronts... I gotta play this. This guy confronts some ICE agents for sure. Like, he walks out, he's sneaking up. They got their windows all tinted.
Estos agentes definitivamente sí son la migra. Aquí andan muy abiertamente con su carrito encendido. Con las placas dicen que están esperando a alguien. No sé quién estén esperando, pero no sé si los pueden ver. Aquí tienen sus ventanas súper polarizadas y tienen tapado aquí enfrente todo.
Dude, they got that shit blacked out. That's illegal tint. I'd love to see a fucking Mexican patrol officer give him a ticket for having illegal tint. That would be epic.
Aquí terrorizando a la gente. Y ahora se quieren ir. Así se van, con la ventanita tapada. Pinches cobardes. There's other cars also them. Estos también son la migra. Estos son ICE agents aquí escondiditos, haciéndose los pendejos. No se vayan, cobardes. También escondiditos. Con sus ventanas tapadas. Haciéndose los pinches pendejos. Estos agentes.
Oh yeah, man, calling them out, calling them bastards out. Absolutely sick of that shit. We got some more coming out. Oh yeah, so Trump visits Michigan to celebrate 100 days in office. Yeah, boy, that wind is taking off. Wait a second. Bro. Come on. If you're going to go out there, do it right. What are we doing? At least it was spelled right. Oh, hey, good to know. Still going on. People aren't happy with this motherfucker. Oh, yeah, this guy got into the rally. So this is at Michigan.
Dictator! Liar! Dictator! Liar! Dictator!
He can hear him. He can hear him. I like it.
Dictator!
Look at this guy. Bruh.
Dictator!
Yeah, that's the energy we need. I want to watch it one more time.
Dictator! Liar! Dictator! Liar! Liar! Dictator! Dictator! Liar!
Another thing is, look how empty that, like, I don't feel a lot of people are there. Like, I feel like there is not a lot of fucking people there at all. That doesn't look like a big crowd. It's inside of a little audit. You know why it's inside? You can figure that one out. I'll let you figure that one out. All right, so AOC, a little hesitant to talk about if she's going to run for presidency, but she's staying focused, which makes sense, but, you know.
Are you thinking about running?
So this is from Fox News. I'm really shocked that Fox News is actually giving her airtime, but they've came out with shitty polls against Trump, right? And now they're airing AOC, giving her time to talk, which blows my mind. This was unprecedented a year ago. So just check it out.
Are you thinking about running for president after the campaign style video you put
Pardon?
out? Are you thinking about running for president or senate?
Because of my Instagram post?
No, the video, the campaign style video.
The
It's got
campaign-
everybody talking.
I mean, listen, it's a video, and frankly, I think what people should be most concerned about is the fact that Republicans are trying to cut Medicaid right now, and people's health care is in danger, and that's really what my central focus is.
You're topping. You're topping the polls.
Pardon?
Right now, you're topping the polls. So people are saying.
This moment isn't about campaigns or elections or about politics. It's about making sure people are protected, and we've got people that are getting locked up for for exercising their First Amendment rights. We're getting 2-year-olds that are getting deported into cells in Honduras. That we're getting people that are about to get kicked off of Medicaid. That to me is most important.
I'm seeing a lot of love in the chat, boy. A lot of love for AOC in the chat. God, I haven't seen. This is on the Fox News site, and I don't see one MAGA troll in the Oh my God! Holy fuck! She is power. She's got my vote. AOC is the best. Love her. Love her. Please, God, let her run, please. Easiest win Republicans will ever have. She's okay. Here's one. She's embarrassing. Trisha J3305. She's embarrassing. Republicans voted for Trump. AOC is the competent adult in the room. Yes, go AOC. Show this is a joke. Democrats messed up running Kamala. There's no way they run another embarrassing candidate. Okay, IDK with the fucking little pedo anime IDK emoji, just like Trisha J. There's a trend here, guys. There's a trend. Oh, I fucking love it. I love it. What's this?
A 90% chance of a recession. That is the prediction tonight from a top economist, Torsten Slok, painting a dire picture of Trump's trade war and the implications, saying it's pushing the U.S. economy to the brink of full-blown crisis. He writes that in just weeks, quote, the consequence will be empty shelves in U.S. stores in a few weeks and COVID-like shortages for consumers and for firms using Chinese products as intermediate goods. And the administration tonight not giving much of a reassurance when pressed on this prediction.
Are you worried about empty shelves?
Not at present. We have some great retailers. I assume they pre-ordered.
Those great retailers were all just at the White House, some of the biggest ones. CEOs of Walmart.
Wait a minute.
A reassurance when pressed on this prediction.
Are you worried about empty shelves?
Not at present. We have some great retailers. I assume they
The
pre-ordered?
90% chance of Walmart,
mouse.
Target, and Home Depot. They warned Trump in that meeting that his tariffs
I assume they pre-ordered.
could lead to product shortages and more. Barclays tonight is echoing the warnings in a memo to investors, writing, we expect a sharp slowdown and a likely U.S. recession in the coming quarters. All of it comes as tonight we're learning Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, reportedly told investors just days ago, according to the Wall Street Journal, that a best-case scenario is a mild recession. It's a daily drumbeat of warnings now coming from people who know a lot about the economy, and it has Americans worried. Our latest poll out this afternoon finding a
Guys, start buying an extra bag of beans and rice when you go to the grocery store. Like, legit. Beans and rice. Just in case. The shit is getting fucking weird.
I assume they pre-ordered.
Worried about empty shelves?
Not at present. We have some great retailers. I assume they pre-ordered.
So they know there's going to be issues. So they're pre-ordering now. Obviously, when you pre-order, you buy a large bulk, you get a cost reduction. So that's how you fight the tariffs as a gigantic retailer. So instead of the regular freight flow, you're getting the replenishment cycle. Instead, you're going to fill up these imaginary giant warehouses that these giant retailers don't have. They're already filled to the fucking brim as it is. There's no empty warehouses, right? Now you're going to bring in bulk amounts of product that are magically going to go where? Where are these gigantic facilities at that are going to hold these bulk items that are coming of your toilet paper? They don't exist. We're going to see it again. Toilet paper's going to get wiped off the shelves. It's going to happen. First thing that goes, your TP.
Those great retailers were all just at the White House, some of the biggest ones. Of Americans,
Anyways,
59.
I'm done with that. It's fucking coming. It is so coming, guys. It's coming again. It'll be measles and it'll be toilet paper.
Will you guys also consider releasing the president's fitness plan? He actually looks healthier than ever before. Healthier than he did 8 years ago, and I'm sure everybody in this room could agree.
That's Psaki up there, guys.
President's fitness plan. How would you have answered that if someone asked you that about Joe Biden? Yeah. Or Obama.
Well, Eugene, thank you for your question. I would say the president is a healthy eater. He does like to exercise, and we have released transparently his full health report from his doctor, who actually has a medical degree. So, this segment I really wanted to do, I'm a sports fan, was all of the people who are actually the height and weight that Donald Trump claims he is. Like, where are you, Patrick Mahomes? Because apparently you're the same size as Donald Trump.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny. Pretty good to see her out and about. Pretty good. A little bit for Midas Touch.
Caroline Leavitt is the White House.
David Pakman Show. Same thing, right? I thought this was Midas Touch. No, I got confused. David Pakman Show. Isn't he Midas Touch?
House press
Am I wrong?
secretary, and she held one of the most humiliating briefings I've ever seen. This was a so-called new media briefing, and the first topic that came up from these great new media journalists was about Uber drivers and truck drivers speaking English, which is a new area of concern for the White House.
Accessible presidency in American history. So with that, let's kick it off, and I'm happy to take your question first, Erin.
Thanks so much, Caroline, both for having us and for granting me the first question here.
Sure.
And I can attest to the deportations in Florida. My Uber drivers finally speak English again, so thank you for
It's so funny. Our Uber driver, he's speaking English.
that.
Understand what she's saying.
Look at this guy taking a poop.
Thanks to Trump deporting people, her Uber drivers now speak English. And this is Sean Spicer on the left who's chuckling about it.
My question for you is, what are the administration's plans for those who continue to defy the executive orders? Most notably, on my mind, are the ones related to what some would call trans men. I would call men masquerade trans women, which are men masquerading as girls in girls' sports.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right, so the anti-trans question to kick things off, and let's now get to this issue of the driving. Caroline Leavitt bravely and courageously announcing a new initiative in which truckers will be able to...
Oh, so he's got his own separate show. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I thought he's the only one I truly see from Midas Touch, so when I see his face, I say Midas Touch in my head. But okay, that makes sense.
Speak English.
And then the third executive order, which actually speaks to the heart of your question earlier about the Uber drivers, will be a order directing the Department of Transportation to include English literacy tests for our truckers. This is a big problem in the trucking community that unless you're in the...
Oh my God. So bringing me back. Bringing me back. Met a Ukrainian fellow doing long haul at my work. Trying to find a place to park his truck. Got in a pretty good conversation with him. He wasn't patriotic at all. He came here when the war started, left, fled. He said they were snatching people. I had to leave, blah, blah, blah. Pretty conservative viewpoints. Talked to him about Trump, and he wanted to know what I thought. I said, you know, I think if he gets in the office, he's going to put you guys under a lot of hell. A, as truck drivers. B, as being from a war-torn country, my fear is he's going to send you back. And, well, how could he do that if I have my legal paperwork? Well, he controls the House, he controls the Senate, and he put half of the judicial system into power. And he looked at me and he said, go back. And he laughed like, holy fuck, what am I going to go back to? He's going to go back to fight. And we ended the conversation, but I bet you anything that guy over numerous times has replayed the words I told him in his head and is probably pretty concerned right now.
that community you might not know, but there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road with federal officials and local officials as well, which obviously is a public safety risk. So we're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English.
This is racism. This is 100% racism. This has nothing to do with safety. Spinning it as safety? Safety? This is fucking outrageous, guys. I fucking... What world are we in? Oh, okay. I need something funny after this.
You know, there's a different discussion to be had here. First of all, in Tennessee, they looked at doing the exact same thing. To be a commercial driver, you've got to be able to speak English. That idea was killed because they recognized in Tennessee it would absolutely cripple the transportation industry. And of course, the idea that the party of small government is going to draft an unenforceable executive order designed to police people speaking certain languages is yet another one of these contrasts in we say we are for small government, but really we're not. Caroline Leavitt is the White House press secretary.
Blowback from truckers could be epic. I wonder if Trump will bail them out. Already fewer loads on the West Coast. Nope. You know what? I should have saved that clip earlier, Richard Don Quixote. It's the same. Yeah. Okay. So you probably saw the same thing I did. The trucker up by Washington, Canada border saying, I'm here. There's no fucking loads. This is the worst I've ever seen it. So, yeah. Okay. Make way for Elon Musk's Cybertrucks, right? So now we don't have to worry about the truckers. We can do their automated GPS self-driven trucks, right? And then we won't have to worry about the load deliveries, and we won't have to worry about people waiting. It's coming. At least that's their vision. Most road signs on the planet are visual. Yeah. There's technology. I mean, language gaps. Everybody's got an app. There's no reason that people can't communicate with each other. That's silly. It's silly. It's a cop-out. It's completely falsified. Jobs are being lost like crazy, and Trump coats are doing stupid crap like that. They're doing stupid crap like that video. And they're laughing about it too. Oh my God, the cabinet meeting earlier. I've never seen 20 people suck off somebody so good. It was like watching the most cringe porn ever. It was absolutely terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Pete Hegseth's wife is reportedly causing major tension at the Pentagon, where there's growing frustration at Jennifer Hegseth's near constant presence at her embattled husband's side. They've even given her a nickname, Yoko Ono, after John Lennon's wife, who got flack for sitting in on Beatles recording sessions.
She's a former Fox producer who is constantly by Hegseth's side and has even
Loco Ono.
requested a security clearance for herself.
Look, Hegseth has even put up large photographs of his wife on the walls of a Pentagon conference room.
You're gonna give me my airtime, you motherfucker! I take care of your kids!
And today, there's more drama, as Hegseth reportedly lashed out at a top admiral, accusing him of leaking stories.
The sources say Hegseth was shouting at Admiral Grady, yelling, "I'll hook you up to a expletive polygraph."
An agitated Hegseth vented at reporters this week.
This is what the media does. They take anonymous sources from disgruntled former employees, and then they try to slash and burn people.
Yeah, LJ, we'll get into that earlier. Oh my God, so... No, they say MS-13 on his fingers. Oh my God.
And ruin their reputations.
Secretary Hegseth is also firing back at a report that he spent thousands building a makeup studio at the Pentagon to get camera ready before recording social media videos from his office. He actually shared a photo of the room, calling it a green room, not a makeup studio. It didn't cost thousands. The items...
Bro, what the fuck? The items added came from existing inventory? This guy's got more fucking eyeliner than JD Vance. I bet he's just the most pitted fucking alcoholic red-faced motherfucker alive.
added came from existing inventory. Jimmy Kimmel had some fun with the story.
Good news is when he gets booted from the Pentagon, he'll be able to get a job at Sephora.
Pete Hegseth's wife is...
Damn, Pete. What's up with all these alpha males wearing so much makeup? God, that makes me feel good about myself. Fuck. I think I'll start drinking soy. What do you guys think? Sounds good. I'll still be more of a man than these motherfuckers. Soy sounds good. All right, hey, some pushback from the coal miners coming. Check this out.
This morning, 100 days into President Trump's second term, and these 8 retired miners, all who say they have black lung disease, and most of whom voted for the president, now with a plea for help.
There is no block of coal.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, you don't know the conditions in coal mine. We must have better regulation for coal. It is going in our lungs, and I can't breathe. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
Worth any man's life or woman's.
Many here concerned after 10,000 recent firings at the Department of Health and Human Services virtually eliminated the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH, tasked with protecting miners from black lung. And the enforcement of a new federal rule cracking down on dangerous rock dust directly tied to the disease also now paused.
Now we're going to put the miners back to work.
After his promise of a coal comeback, John Robinson voted for...
He was like, oh, all they want to do is mine, these miners. You could give them a 5-star room in the Marriott, and all they would want to do is mine.
Trump, and has faith he'll change course.
I think things are
He's going to bring those services back.
Yeah.
What happens if he doesn't?
I messed up.
Vital.
I think he's gonna bring the revival.
Free X-rays and protection.
But if he don't, I fucked it up.
For sick miners now abruptly halted, even as doctors in Appalachia are finding black lung is making a brutal resurgence, impacting younger and younger miners.
This guy is 30 years old.
This guy's already passed away.
If you had President Trump sitting here, what would you say to him?
You know, I would say that I understand cutting waste in government, but this is not something to cut. This is essential for the health and well-being of the people that helped elect you.
At this West Virginia dining room table, we found former NIOSH employees now mounting a last-minute pressure campaign to save their agency. And they say the lives of the miners it protects.
If there was a miner sitting here, what would you say to them about what this is going to look like for them going forward?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for them. I'm sorry for their families.
This morning, 100
Working in a coal mine. Working in a coal mine. Man, they don't like scientists. They don't like science. Science costs money. Right? Just send them in there, right? They can just be replaced. Send them in there. Doesn't matter. Cut the funding. Suckers and losers, right? That's the impression. That's how much this man cares about them. He doesn't care.
We may very well see, as a result of what's happened in these dramatic few months, a reverse brain drain where we start to lose some of our best and brightest young scientists because they think they will have a better chance in another part of the world.
They already do. And our government employees also? Even those with secret clearances, you're going to put them out of a job? Guess what? They still need money. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have security leaks.
Be terribly tragic.
This week on 60 Minutes, we report on the Trump administration's proposal to slash the National Institutes of Health budget by more than 40%. The plan has shaken up the agency and the broader scientific community since so much medical research depends on NIH funding. The NIH is the largest biomedical research agency in the world. The administration's proposal, which was leaked earlier this month, would cut more than 40% from its $47 billion budget and consolidate its 27 institutes and centers into just 8, eliminating 4.
Pretty much every drug.
We spoke with
So
Dr.
I'm reading the comments. Russia, China, and other countries around the world are actively recruiting our scientists. Fuck.
Francis Collins, who left the NIH in February. Collins had spent 32 years at the agency, including 12 as its director.
Yeah, guys, if you're still lagging out, give it a good refresh on the stream. I refreshed. It looks like it's good. I don't think it's my internet. I think my video card is malfunctioning, and I have to send it back. Or they're going to send me a new one, and I just send the old one back. But it should be running fine now. So give it a quick refresh. Come on back. It's showing excellent on my end.
Director and helped mentor many scientists who came through its doors. He told us the upheaval has already impacted researchers who are just starting their careers.
In your view of all these cuts, what have been the most harmful and why?
I'm most troubled about what this does to young scientists. They're part of this whole amazing engine of discovery, and they're the ones who are often at the bench or in the clinic doing the work. And if they're now both in a circumstance where they can't get their work done because the money's dried up and they can't order supplies, and they're not sure there's going to be a career path for them because lots of universities have just stopped taking on new graduate students or new postdoctoral fellows because they're not sure they can afford it. This is a generation that we might lose of young talent. They're the ones who are going to make those next breakthroughs for cancer and diabetes and rare diseases. And many of them aren't sure there's a path anymore. And for people who are concerned about American competitiveness, we have been absolutely on top of the world in terms of medical research now for decades. But that's not something to be complacent about. And China has particularly done a lot to invest in building up their strength, and they are very competitive now. And if we lose our momentum, they will probably take advantage of that.
China, along with Australia and Europe, have already boosted their recruitment efforts, hoping to capitalize on the potential brain drain from America. In France, a new program called A Safe Place for Science has dedicated millions of dollars to entice students from the U.S. And scholars, it seems, are ready to be lured.
What scientist or college kid wouldn't want to go to France? What do we have here? What do we, other than money? At least we do in California. Shout out to California, 4th biggest economy in the world as of recently. What do we have to offer these kids? They're going to become scientists anymore. Anything?
3/4 of American
Pretty sure you can drink and load OnlyFans across seas. Just saying.
American researchers and graduate students who responded to a recent survey in the publication Nature said they're considering leaving the U.S. to work. But programs abroad aren't immune to changes in the U.S. either.
Guys, hit the like, sub
Last
if you
month,
could.
The Trump administration sent a survey to some international
If you guys are still having refresh it or lag issues, refresh the stream. It should be fine now.
Agencies and universities around the world that receive U.S. funding from various federal sources. The questionnaire asked researchers whether their projects complied with U.S. government interests, including ending DEI and climate initiatives.
Do you think the administration has an idea of kind of the chilling effect this could have on science?
I think that's part of the point.
Kristen Weinstein is a PhD candidate at the University of Washington.
Scientists are a group of people who are highly educated and good at forming community. And I think that by defunding scientific research and creating brain drain, that helps to consolidate control and power.
Do you think that this is perhaps intended?
I do, yes.
To continue her research on cancer and autoimmunity after graduation, Weinstein and her family are considering moving abroad. So far, she has explored options in Europe and Canada.
What have you heard about China?
So I think there's a lot of questions around this. And will American scientists go to China? And I don't have the
Yes, if the money is there, yes. If they pay more than Canada and Europe, yes. Yes. Money talks. Money talks.
answers for that today. I think that
I'm not talking a little more, but a lot more. And yes, they would go.
scientists will pursue what opportunities make sense for them at a given time.
Do you think America's loss could lead to China's gain in this area?
Oh, absolutely. I think that even if you don't have scientists that are specifically going towards China, wherever they're going, they're dispersing. And so you're losing a pool of talented individuals in the United States, which is currently the global leader in biomedical research.
I always thought America was the land of opportunity for medical research, more so than any other place on the planet. And the idea that that could turn around in the other direction, and the people with the bold ideas who are already here are feeling they got to go somewhere else. I never could have imagined that.
We're in this moment right now where we have tariffs and this call to, bring manufacturing back, bring it.
Guys, the nerds are jumping ship. The future leaders of our nation, our world, are jumping ship. This should be a warning sign. Like a great earthquake or volcano about to erupt.
It all back to the United States. What are we doing to science?
We're creating an unfriendly atmosphere that doesn't seem like the kind of thing that a young scientist is going to feel is going to be supportive enough to live out their dreams. And
this is going to work perfect for RFK, too. Now I can just sell it with snake oil.
Consequences for that are not just about health, they're also about economics. The Human Genome Project, which I had the privilege of leading, cost the U.S. taxpayers about $3 billion over 13 years. Current estimates are that that return is well over $1 trillion. If we had another occasion like that right now, a project came along, sort of like the Human Genome Project, some really big, bold, a little risky, but if it works, would we in the United States in this situation have the courage to take it on? Or would somebody else do that? We may very well see
a great storm is coming. They already control the churches. Now they're going to control the science. If they control both, they control the narrative and us. Simple as that. It makes sense. God, they really thought this through. This is Project 2025 all day long. They really, really thought this through. Shout out to California, though. Maybe they'll run to Cali. Cali's kind of hot right now. California became the 4th largest economy in the world. We're killing it. This is actually how California looks, too. I know San Francisco gets shit on a lot. It's fucking really nice. It's a really nice place to go. There's places like this all over. I know where this is. I've been here. There's so much public land out here, too. It's so that there's Half Dome. Yeah, it's Half Dome. Yosemite. It's very pretty here. I fucking love California. I'm going to try to do some more outdoorsy streams, too. Coming up when I get a little free time. Recover my finances from the last little vacation I took. I really want to get into it. Maybe some hiking or something like that. Definitely kayak fishing. I'm going to do more kayak fishing for sure. Cali's where it's at, though. Let's get into something funny. I need funny.
Legalize weed, I don't know about you guys, but before they legalized weed, I was committing tons of crime. I was committing a crime roughly every 2 hours throughout the day. Usually I would commit a crime as soon as I woke up in the morning. Like don't talk to me until I've done some crime. Like, a little rise in crime, if you will. Sometimes I would roll up a crime, and then I would smoke the whole crime, and then I would forget that I had just rolled and smoked crime, and then I would turn to my fellow crimesters and suggest, of all things, more crime. That's a crime spree, I believe, without even realizing it. An accidental crime spree. That'd be like if I was a bank robber and I walked out of a bank with like a bag full of money and I saw across the street, I don't know, another bank. And I turned to my fellow bank robber friends and I was like, what do you say, fellas? We should go rob a bank today, what? Prime the Tommy guns, boys. Like, I wasn't part of society before they legalized weed. Like, I was like over in the corner with like a loincloth and unwashed hair, like a stoned little Smeagol, you know? Like, everyone was like, just stop doing crime and you may join us, Chris. And I was just like, no, that's okay. I just can't be over here smoking the precious. Y'all take care now. Y'all have a blessed weekend now. And then they legalized weed, and I was like, I might even pay taxes this year. This is incredible. What a city, what a town. Like, has it always been this shiny here? You there, small boy, what day is it? Why, it's Christmas, sir. Here, have a pre-roll. Go, take it. Oh, God. Take it back to your family. Roasted with the whole team. Merry Christmas, little one. That's my smartest joke. That joke has a Tolkien and a Dickens reference in it. Huh?
Yeah, Chris Higgins fucking roasted it. Chris Higgins, that's fucking hilarious. Oh my God. Ugh. Okay, where are we? Are we through this? So much of his face. So much of his face. Let's do it.
Trump promised numbers like we've never seen, and 100 days in, he's delivered.
The numbers are incredible. I've never heard numbers like this. It's better than the first 4 years.
Let's look at those historic numbers. 39%. That's Trump's latest approval rating, the lowest ever for a president's first 100 days. That might have something to do with these numbers. 60%. That's how much egg prices have gone up. 9%. That's how much the stock market has tanked, wiping out billions from people's retirement accounts. $6,400. That's how much the price of a new car is expected to go up under Trump's auto tariffs. $5.9 billion. That's how much money American soybean farmers are expecting to lose annually in Trump's trade wars. 200. The number of trade deals Trump claims he's made in his trade wars. 0. The number of trade deals there's any evidence of Trump having made. 0 plans offered to lower grocery prices.
Yeah, it's funny is too, I talked to people that absolutely voted for Trump over here, even though it's California and California went blue. I talk, hey, how's your 401k? How's your stocks? Oh, it's terrible. Terrible. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I kind of told you it was going to happen. Well, well, it's got to get worse. It's going to get worse until it gets better. Oh well.
121,000 fired federal workers, including at least 70,000 Veterans Affairs workers. $500 billion of lost tax revenue expected because too many IRS workers have been fired to crack down on tax cheats. $500 million from crypto schemes funneled into Trump's pocket since the election.
If anybody, I had lost all respect for anybody who bought any Trump cryptocurrency thinking they were going to become super rich and wealthy along with their golden god. It fucking... It was a bad time to quit drinking.
According to Forbes estimates, about 4 million Americans who might have been deleted from Social Security by mistake. 24 days of Trump golfing, costing taxpayers like you more than $26 million. $6 billion cut from NIH medical research into curing cancer, Alzheimer's, and other diseases. $12 billion cut from state health services. $2.2 billion withheld from Harvard because they wouldn't give Trump a say over their admissions, faculty hiring, and curriculum. 2 Signal chat groups in which Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth endangered...
Oh my God, you're making me thirsty, Pete. Come on. Everybody loves good champagne and pool water.
...the lives of American service members by leaking military plans. At least 3 American children deported without due process, including a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer. At least 288 people trafficked to El Salvador in defiance of court orders, including 1 Maryland dad who was in the U.S. legally. About 1,600 pardons or commutations for the violent criminals who attacked America and brutalized police in the deadly January 6th attack.
But I thought police loved him. What's going on?
1 judge arrested for interfering with Trump's mass deportation.
He loves police too, right, guys?
1 Oval Office gang-up on Ukraine's President Zelensky. At least 9 major law firms Trump has bullied into agreeing never to take a case against him and to doing pro bono work for him. $1 billion, the amount of pro bono work Trump suggested he'll get from those law firms. 21 Fox News personalities, and 6.5 reported billionaires in the Trump admin, if Trump finally really is a billionaire. Approximately 293 times that Trump has complained about Joe Biden.
Biden, 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 Sleepy Joe Biden.
That's almost 3 times a day. 3. The number of terms Trump's currently talking about serving.
$50 for a fucking Trump 2028 hat? Ah! What? Guys. What? Made in China. $50.
In violation of the 22nd Amendment. 2 state funerals Trump appeared to fall asleep at. 4 territories Trump has threatened to take either by economic or military force. Greenland, Gaza, the Panama Canal, and Canada. 1 commercial for Tesla on the White House lawn. And so much more. Honestly, it's hard to believe.
We could make Trump Forever hats and sell them for $25 a piece and donate the money to Ukraine.
It's only been 100 days. I'm Alan Piper at apiper13 and Piperama. Follow Courier Newsroom to stay on top of everything Trump does in the rest of this term and any additional terms.
Damn. That's the first time I've heard a Courier Newsroom, but oh my God, that was a good report. That's good. I like that. More of that. We're going to watch more of that for sure. Very nice. All right. Oh, we got to go into more of him. This is 100 Days of Trump, so.
And we're here tonight in the heartland of our nation to celebrate the most successful first 100 days of any administration in the history of our country, and that's according to many, many people. This is the best, they say, 100-day start of any president in history, and everyone is saying it. We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in. And week by week, we're ending illegal immigration. We're taking back our jobs and protecting our great American auto workers and all of our workers, frankly. We're protecting all of our workers. We're restoring the rule of law, which was sort of out the window with this crazy guy we had. How the hell did that guy ever become president? Could somebody explain to me? How the hell did that happen? There's my friend, Blacks for Trump. I like that guy. He follows me. He follows me. We love you. Your whole group has been so supportive over the years. I want to thank you. Everyone thinks I pay you a fortune. I don't know. I don't even know who the hell he is. I just like him. True. Thank you very much. Thank all of the fellas. Thank them all. But we're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had.
Thank all the fellas. Everything this man says is a lie. Everything. Now I'm back. Oh my God. I was listening. Does anybody... I can't believe his supporters are so unintelligent to see what is going on here. Or they're just being naive. Self-chosen naivety.
Probably in the history of our country, getting woke lunacy and transgender insanity the hell out of our government. We're stopping the indoctrination of our children, slashing billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And above all, we're saving the American dream. We're making America great again, and it's happening fast, too. What the world has witnessed in the past 14 weeks is a revolution of common sense. That's all it is, really. We're conservative. You're conservative.
Did anyone else hear when he said we have two sexes, men and men? Did he just say that on this, or did he say it earlier, LJ? If you have that clip, did he just say it? When was it? Did he just say that? Do I got to go back? Let me know.
Yeah, liberal, whatever the hell. You know what it's all about? It's about common sense when you think about it. We're for common sense. We like...
That's more the alpha male energy. There's two sexes, men and men.
Borders, we like good education, we like low interest rates, we like being able to buy a beautiful car, and now deduct the interest on the loan. That's never happened before. We want a strong military, we want low taxes. You know, the Democrats, they campaign on, we will raise your taxes. It's the first time. You know, I haven't been doing this that long. Actually, compared to a lot of people, they've been doing it for a long time. They say, you became president. I can't get out of Congress, or some of them can't even get into Congress. But, you know, I haven't been doing it that long, but all my life I've been watching, and I've never heard people campaigning that they're going to raise taxes. It's always been, we will reduce your taxes, Democrat, Republican. Now,
yeah, LJ, send me that clip if you could in Discord. That'd be great. I'm reading the comments over here. This man is delusional. Jesus, he's destroying us. 100 days of stand-up comedy. This guy is a lunatic. He literally hasn't done a single thing he said he has in the whole speech. 100 days of hell. He just keeps making up his own stats. Literally the worst first 100 days and the lowest approval in history. The polls say he has had the worst 100 days. Everybody knows. Where's the MAGA? Where's the fuck yeah, Trump, MAGA, America? Where are they?
Now they go, we're going to raise your taxes. If our bill doesn't pass, the Republicans, we have 100% just about Republican support, but it would be nice if we had just a couple of Democrats just to make sure, because, you know, every once in a while you have a grandstander Republican. We have some grandstanders, but every once in a while, not many, but remember who those grandstanders were and vote them the hell out of office, okay? Will you do that? And we're here tonight in the heart.
I'm looking down the comments. I don't see a single pro-Trump comment on all of C-SPAN official. This man is delusional. Jesus, he destroyed us. 100 days of stand-up comedy. This guy is a lunatic. 100 days of hell. He keeps making up his own stats. Literally the worst 100 days and the lowest approval in history. The polls said he had the worst 100 days, 39% approval rating. Nobody is saying it's the most successful. It's the opposite. Then why is his approval rating so low? Wait, is he gaslighting himself? No one has destroyed the country faster than Trump. He's breaking all the records. This man must go out from America. Hasn't he looked at his actual approval rating, the worst in 40 years, the longest circus in the history of mankind? Does he ever stop lying? Is Trump living in another universe? He's just lies so often, and the fools cheer. It's bizarre. Fucking facts. It is so bizarre. Who's saying it? Africans zing love Trump. Oh my god. Whatever. The amount of BS unstatesmanlike behavior and disrespect in that room is palpable. Trump persists as one of the most unhinged, unqualified, incompetent, and fundamentally dishonest individuals to have ever held public office. Facts. He just tells lie after lie, and Biden lives in his head rent-free. Biden. Is this guy kidding? He's destroyed our country in 100 days. Keeping jobs? He is terminating jobs like every day. My president. Oh, finally! Finally! Catherine Butterfly. 80 followers with her nice Botox lips. my president. Heart, 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 heart. Finally, one. Such a narcissist. Traits of a narcissist. Who are those people? Trump is the best president. Oh, Pearl T with your anime cartoon. I'm getting a trend, guys. Getting a trend. #1 hentai fan forever. Great Trump. User W62MFMPFNW0 says, Great Trump. Thanks, President Trump. Lacus Michael. In all caps. So it should be, thanks, President Trump. This is fucking great.
But the court has ordered you to.
All right, yeah. Okay, so a little bit from the, was it ABC interview? Did I get that right? ABC interview? We got some good clips here. Yeah, ABC. It's right in front of my face. Third. Have another sip of this. Shout out to hibiscus tea. This is like the best ever. I get it like these big bulk packs in the Hispanic section at the grocery store. They have these dried hibiscus flowers for like $4.49. I just take like a handful of the flowers and I put it inside of my coffee maker. And well, after I fill up the coffee machine, I put the flowers inside of the coffee pot and I just turn it on. And it makes delicious, wonderful hibiscus tea. You can add honey. I have this buckwheat, Ukrainian buckwheat honey I throw in there. Oh my God. You can chill it. You can make like a cold, refreshing beverage. And it's better than drinking yourself to death on live stream.
To facilitate that,
I'm not the one making this decision. We have lawyers that don't want to do this.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law. You want me to follow the law? If I were the president that just wanted to do...
The real Vladimir Putin is in the house, and he says, I love Donald. Heart, 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 heart.
Do anything,
thanks,
I'll
Vlad.
probably keep him right where he is.
Supreme Court says what the law is.
Listen, I was elected to take care of a problem. It was a unforced error that was made by a very incompetent man, a man that turned out to be incompetent, that you always said was wonderful, a great genius, right? And now you find out, all of the media now, they're saying what a mistake they made. A man who was grossly incompetent allowed us to have open borders where millions of people flowed in. I campaigned on that issue. I wouldn't say it was my #1 issue, but it was pretty close.
Right up there.
I campaigned on that issue. I've done an amazing job. I have closed borders. He said you couldn't do it. You wouldn't be able to do it. It would never happen. Well, it happened, and it happened very quickly. Wait a minute. When we have criminals, murderers, criminals in this country, we have to get them out, and we're doing it.
But you're going to release 1,600 of them, right?
You'll pick out one man, but even the man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
over that. Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That was photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey.
That was the letter MS-13.
He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That was photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry. But you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture. We'll
and you think it was photoshopped? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS.
Bruh. Oops. Bruh. There you go. There you go. Bruh. This is pathetic. We have, you know what? He believed this too. Oh, weird. Weird. Can I open that? Can you? No, I don't want to fucking join your stupid shit.
The Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to begin the process of releasing Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador. ICE agents arrested and accused Garcia of being a member of the MS-13 gang. The administration has not presented evidence to back up that claim. The Trump administration admitted in court documents that his deportation was a mistake, calling it an, quote, administrative error. The Justice Department says it has no authority to return him to the United States because he is in a foreign country.
This man's family better sue the pants off of Donald Trump and his administration. This is pathetic. Oh my God. So he's got a marijuana leaf, M, smiley face, S, a cross. All of a sudden that's a 1? Come on. Come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. I got a tattoo right here. Does that mean I'm in a gang? No, it means I was stupid and I was allergic to wedding rings along with my ex. And now I gotta fucking get it covered up. Instead of keep putting a Band-Aid on every day over it.
Joe Rogan said this. Joe Rogan, one of the leading podcasters, Trump supporter, about the deportation of Venezuelans. He said, quote, rounding up gang members and shipping them to El Salvador with no due process, he said it was dangerous, and added, quote, we got to be careful that we don't become monsters while we're fighting monsters. Is Joe Rogan right? Oh, I agree with that 100%. Yeah, we want to be careful, and we are careful. We're doing something that has to be done. We have a country that's very sick. Joe Biden, and it's not him because I don't even think he knew what the hell was happening, but the people around him are vicious people, and what they've done to the country is unbelievable. They've allowed 21 million people to pour into our country. Many of these people are criminals. They've allowed you mentioned Venezuela.
Is it 20 million or 21 million? He gets it wrong every time.
The jails of Venezuela to be emptied into the United States. Do you know Venezuela crime is way down? Way, way down. You know why? Because...
You know what's funny? The only person that actually emptied the jails off into our country is him. January 6th. Mic drop.
Their criminals are now living happily in the United States of America, and we're getting them out. And I was elected to get them out, and we're getting them out. Under the law. And we're getting them out fast, and we're getting them out legally. Now, in some cases, we have judges. In some cases, they're radical left judges. What happened the other day where a judge was protecting a criminal was horrible.
He's not a criminal. He wasn't convicted. He was there on a misdemeanor domestic dispute, domestic violence charge, which if he did, he needs to pay up for. He wasn't a criminal. Not criminal. Never had a day in court other than what he was there for, and he didn't plead. Not a criminal.
Trump moments ago claiming America's inflation problem is over.
We're ending the inflation nightmare, the worst that we've had probably in the history of our country.
Is the inflation nightmare over, guys? Is it over? Do you think are we ending it? Is our prices going down?
Only, as you're about to see, that nightmare is far from over because today Team Trump was laughing when pressed on whether they're making...
Okay, so maybe the guy that was rescued from the courthouse had criminal charges in the past before that. I don't know. So he might actually be a criminal, but anybody who's ever got a misdemeanor charge is considered a criminal at that point, right? Trump has felony charges, right? He has the hypocrisy is outrageous.
Making progress on trade deals with countries around the world. Here's the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick.
We have every country in the world, just like Donald Trump has said, who wants to do a deal with us. Now, here's the point. I have a deal. Done. But I need to wait for their prime minister and their parliament to give its approval, which I...
Dude, this guy, like, wants to sell me a MyPillow. That's the vibes I get off of him here. Like, this is one, like... Where are those infomercials?
What country? Shortly. Well, I'm not going to tell you what country.
I'm not going to tell you what country. I mean, it felt very flippant, right? As if this were...
Was that the CEO of Bang Energy?
Approval, which I expect country? Shortly. Well, I'm not going to tell you what country.
I'm not going to tell you what country. I mean, it felt very flippant, right? As if this were a game. But of course, this is incredibly serious business. The effects of Trump's trade war are already being felt. You know, we got this report today from longtime retail price expert Dana Telsey. Carl Quintanilla at CNBC had posted a clip of it, so we went and got it from Dana because it's amazing what it goes through with the prices. Dana is in the business of tracking prices, and here's what she's already seeing happening. If you just look at these prices, these are week-on-week prices as she was looking. Barbie up 42.9%.
Bang Energy CEO. Look at this guy. Oh, can I do it off of here? Hold on. I better not. Keep going.
If you were to buy a Barbie doll, a DKNY puffer. These are just the items that she's tracking week in and week out. So DKNY puffer, 37% increase, and a drill kit. You know, one of those ones where you can put all of your drill equipment.
Vital Pharmaceuticals went bankrupt. Bang Energy going broke. Oh no!
Look at this guy.
Oh goodness! Not Jack Owak.
Look at the
oh god!
This guy sold me.
Bang.
I used to love these energy drinks too, but you gotta look at
Energy
this guy.
parent company files for bankruptcy. Why? You telling me an absolutely unhinged CEO going rabid and making absolute... I don't even know the right word to describe his claims. Outrageous, I guess?
So he had, I believe the issue, don't quote me on this, I believe the issue is on his labels of his energy drinks. He had BCAA on there, branched chain amino acids, but there was none. Apparently, and he was sued. I believe Pepsi might have sued him
about super creatine and shit. You're telling me that wasn't the recipe for success? And having women dance around and rub themselves over Bang Energy to sell it wasn't enough? You think this is it for Bang? Oh, I have no idea. Vital Pharmaceuticals, though, being the parent company of Bang, does bode poorly, and Bang themselves is locked into a big lawsuit right now with Monster over their super creatine claims, which were just wrong. We need Elon to...
CEO of Bang Energy, and I hope this message finds you well and thriving. With all the recent news, everybody from Bloomberg to Beck...
Are you going to trust this guy with your fucking health? I can't believe I drank his shit, man. If something happens to me, it was him. He needs to be on Trump's cabinet, 100%. Look at this guy. He's RFK's backup. Bling bling. Look at that, boy. Fuck. That's some drip. Real drip there.
Net being obsessed with Bang Energy, there have been numerous questions regarding super creatine and whether it's real.
Okay, so it was super creatine that was missing. Anyways, yeah, he got sued. He lost. Pepsi dropped their contract with him. I know that. But, man, that's the vibes I get from Trump's cabinet right there.
and screwdrivers and stuff on the side from Tractor Supply, up 3.8%. So prices are rising. Now, sporadically, some things not at all, and some things, as you can see, a whole lot. And today, we are learning that Trump was not okay with the ideas that Americans might find out just how much more they're paying, where the tariffs are impacting them. So this morning, there was a report. It came out, said Amazon is going to show the price of an item, and then next to it, they're going to break out the tariff so that a consumer would understand exactly where a tariff is hitting, exactly why a price is going up, and by how much. So Trump finds out about it, and then here's what happens. So first, his press secretary goes out and calls it a hostile act.
This is a hostile and political act by Amazon.
So Amazon being transparent with consumers about tariffs is hostile and political. That's how it started. Just to be clear, transparency is hostile and political. So then what did Jeff Bezos do? Well, Amazon retreated, and really quickly. In a statement, the company wrote, the team that runs our ultra low-cost Amazon Haul store considered the idea of listing import charges on certain products. This was never approved and is not going to happen. They didn't even want to use the word tariff there, import charges. Well, maybe it's not going to happen because Bezos got a call from Trump, who, according to sources, was so angry that he did call Bezos directly.
Bezos folded quick. If it was even true. If it was even true. You know how stories go.
Great. Jeff Bezos was very nice. He was terrific. He solved the problem very quickly.
All right, so he admits there was a problem, so maybe it was true. Maybe you got like Greg Terry says, listen to his words. Shout out to Greg Terry, one of my faves.
And he did the right thing, and he's a good guy.
He did the right thing. It is worth saying again what the right thing is in Trump's view of this. The right thing was to prevent consumers from seeing the cost of tariffs on items they are buying on Amazon. The right thing to do was to hide the tariffs. Trump moments ago claiming...
So, no action coming from Amazon. Bezos, of course. Of course, we should have seen that, but I'm sure Bezos will flip on him if he's going to lose money. I don't know what he promised him. He must have promised him something.
I want to ask one question about Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. There's a lot of turmoil at the Pentagon right now. There's the signal chat with his wife on it where he's discussing that attack in Yemen. There's another signal chat discussing the attack on Yemen. There's a reporter accidentally involved. You said the other day that you had a talk with the secretary. Did you take him to the woodshed?
I had a talk with him.
Did you take him to the woodshed? Who fucking says it? Damn it, Bobby. Is this some Beavis and Bud? You boys quit whacking off in my tool shed.
And whatever I said, I probably wouldn't be inclined to tell you. But we had a good talk. He's a talented guy. He's young. He's smart, highly educated. And I think he's going to be a very good hopefully a great defense secretary, but he'll be a very good defense secretary.
You have 100% confidence in Pete
I don't have
Hegseth.
100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look,
it's a pretty important position.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
We will.
We will. The contract says so. Wow. Fucking wow. Woo! That was a fire interview, man. Hot one. Oh, yeah, here.
And let's do that over. He's coughing in the middle of my answer.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like that, you know?
Then your chief of staff.
If you're going to cough, please leave the room.
Get a shot of, and I'll come over here.
Don't you fucking dare be human around me, you son of a bitch. Get out of here.
Just to change the shot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, do you want to do that a little differently then?
Yeah, we just changed the angle.
If it wasn't for those damn people, right, Trump? If it wasn't for those fucking people.
I do not need to speak. So, 100 days. I do not need to speak. Schumer does not need to speak. The truth of the matter is the American public has already rendered their verdict. This is the most failure fantastically of any president in 4 generations. The American public has already made it clear, Donald Trump, you have failed us. He has the lowest approval rating of any president in 80 years. And why? Because he has consistently said one thing and done another. He has lied to the American people and betrayed those people who put their act of civic trust, their vote for him. It is time for more people to step up and say, this is not left or right, it is right or wrong. This is not about party, this is about patriotism. It's time to recall the conscience of all Americans, Republican or Democrat, to say no. Stop the lies, stop the corruption, and do not keep your hands off the Medicaid of millions and millions of Americans. So, 100 days.
A little more from Booker. Be nice to see him as Speaker of the House come midterms, yeah? Is that where we're going with that?
I think that's probably all the political stuff for the show.
Elon lover heckles. All right.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, okay, buddy. you see how sensitive they are? You know, it's like, it's not. It's so funny that they defended him doing the fucking Nazi salute. Like, it was a fucking Nazi salute. And they're like, it's a Roman salute, actually. I've never heard of that in my fucking life. What are you talking about? We all have seen the Hitler one. We've seen that. They would defend his. They can do anything now. Like if he says Heil Hitler, they're gonna be like, no, he said Heil Hitler. He's good. He's good. He didn't say the ER. We're good. All right, we'll move on. So Trump is gay, and no.
That's how you deal with the hecklers. That's how you handle the hecklers.
It was reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
Yes.
I will take this since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon.
It was reported this morning that
this is a hostile and political act by Amazon. This is your White House. Even though Jeff Bezos sat with Trump at his inauguration. Now it's obviously he's turned on him, right? Wow. It's crazy how quick they can flip the script on people and pressure and intimidate, fear and intimidation. It's insane how fast they can do that. How can you, yuck. It's nasty, man. Some nasty business. Yeah, there was some strikes going on in LA. We'll take a peek at it.
More than 55,000 LA County union workers are on strike. Right now, you're looking at a rally of some of those workers in downtown LA, and it is quite the sight.
They're slowly moving southbound on Grand, and it's really difficult to try and estimate exactly how many people are here. But
bro, what is wrong with that guy? It sounds like he's got a fucking retainer in.
it's in the thousands, that is for sure. As we open up out of the shot just a bit, you're going to see just how long this stretches around Grand on to Temple, next to the Board of Supervisors headquarters there.
We have been seeing all of these strikers coming in by the thousands. They've been being bussed in all morning long. The rally here in high gear, they've been putting together signs showing their distaste for the county's treatment of employees. They're striking for better wages and benefits. They say they want to be respected for the work that runs the city. The strike will last 48 hours, disrupting service to non-urgent care clinics, fire debris removal, trash service, and public parks, facilities, as well as libraries.
That's going to have a major impact, man. Dude, clinics are the only way to go, it seems like, in Cali. It's so hard to get into a regular doctor around here because they are never, ever, it seems like, from my experience, accepting new patients. It is like super difficult. So we always end up going to Rapid Care, and then they have to have a specific pediatrician on there, or they won't see children under the age of so-and-so age. It's insane, man. It is insane. We are super overwhelmed in the state just because of the amount of people here. I mean, the money's great, but yeah, we got issues. We're not perfect. Not a perfect union. They were in a sit-in. So they arrested everybody that was in the sit-in. Obviously, they're blocking the street. They're going to get arrested. A little bit of chaos down in LA. Looks pretty normal, like peaceful protesting. Really, I didn't see anybody going crazy. Didn't hear anybody going crazy. If they're unhappy, that's their right.
I am a liberal, obviously. I don't like it. It's not fun. It's not. It's liberals, we're not having as much fun as them. I'll give you the best example. Conservatives, they have boats. Conservatives have big fucking boats. The liberals, we don't have boats. We have kayaks. That's what we have.
I'm a kayaker. So I'm on Lake Amador. Lake Amador, not Almador. There is an Almador. I'm on Lake Amador earlier this month. I'm out there kayak fishing, right? Having a good time, chilling on the water, live streaming, losing my biggest personal best rainbow trout on live stream. Later on that night, I'm going out there with my kids, and here comes this big ass motherfucking powerboat, just full throttle spinning donuts in the middle of the lake. Keep in mind, we're talking like a tiny little trout lake, right? It's deep. It's a big ass reservoir, but 13-mile land, 13 miles long, big, right? Which is tiny for the way it is. It's like these big coves, right? Big ass coves that you can't really go fast down. So there's a little circumference here of boatable area. Here comes this big ass powerboat in the middle of this little tiny ass trout lake with all of us little fucking 6 horsepower motors, kayaks, wake paddle boards, and all that bullshit. And he's just fucking spinning donuts to his America music with his American flag. America. I'm fucking thinking, man, that's got to be a MAGA. That's got to be a MAGA. Has to be. I tell my kids, get the fuck in. That guy can't see us. He couldn't see us as he wanted to. So they went back. I'm staying out there in the cove, watching this motherfucker, just like, oh, god damn it, I gotta stay close to shore. And like hella people heard me. They pulled their boats and their kayaks back too, because they obviously weren't paying attention for safety. This dude's just ripping it up. And lo and behold, here he comes into shore. And he's got, guess what color hat?
Canoes, stand-up paddleboards. Conservative have big fucking motorboats. You've never heard anything progressive ever said on a motorboat. You never been wakeboarding and somebody's like, we gotta get more women into Congress. Like, no. That boat does not exist. I am envious. I'm envious of conservatives. It seems nice. Seems easier. You don't have to learn anything new. No new pronouns. You're calling Chinese food Oriental. You don't recycle, just battery, banana peel, cardboard. Who gives a fuck? It's going somewhere. You don't believe in climate change? That must be amazing. I'm so anxious. You're just like, wow, 72 degrees on November 7th. God must be rewarding us for anointing the new king.
Oh my god. Comical truths. God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll watch this cop get roasted.
What's this about?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, this is a police law enforcement parking lot. Yeah, it is a problem.
Oh. Who are you?
I'm Detective Mike Jardine.
Oh, yeah? What are you working on? What are you working on right now?
Several cases.
Okay.
What is this about?
Are you working on something right now?
We're going to have MAGA auditors like this, I feel like. Like, we need more of this, but we need it addressed to the administration since they fired all the auditors.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
All right, what are you working on? What are you working on?
It doesn't matter what I'm working on. I'm asking you, what are you doing here taking pictures?
Where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out and about a little bit?
What is this about? Who are you?
I'm asking the questions. Where have you been today?
No,
have you been here?
I'm asking the questions. You're on this property. You're on this property, so you need to answer my questions.
Are you drunk? Why are you slurring your words today? So have you been here all day, or have you been out? Have you been to the bar today at all?
Who are you?
Have you been to the bar today?
Who are you?
I'm an investigator.
Investigator for who?
Investigative journalist. I investigate corrupt officials. So I'm wondering, where have you been today? Have you been here all day, or have you been out at the bar at all?
Working on a fraud case. That's
Okay.
where I've been.
Okay. Have you been to the bar at all today?
No.
Okay. You got any drugs on you? Have you used any drugs today?
What a ridiculous question.
That's not a ridiculous question. Do you know where he's been today?
I don't. I don't keep tabs on him.
Okay.
Out and about.
Do you know what time his shift started?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Does he usually drink on?
He shut up. I'm asking the questions, all bro. He's gonna talk about booze. I'm gonna shut the fuck up for a minute.
On the job, or no? Not that anybody knows of for sure. Have you guys ever breathalyzed him while he's been on the job? Would you submit to a breathalyzer for me right now?
You're ridiculous. You know that? You got about 5 minutes.
Oh God. Alcoholism is prevalent in law enforcement. It is, guys. It is. I've been at places where there's lots of cops there, and guess what? It was a beer and wine only raffle for a good cause. Really fun. I had a blast. I fucking had a blast. There was a lot of whiskey. And there was a lot of drunk cops. I'm talking fucked up.
Minutes to get out of here right now.
Or what?
Or what? You're on
My
law
property.
enforcement. This isn't your
Yeah, it
property.
is. Shut the hell up. Get out of here now.
What'd you say?
I said shut up and get out
No,
of here.
you get out of here now.
Hey, you better get it. You better get your boy. Get your butt back in your office and do your job.
You shut up and get
You
out
get
of
your butt back in your office and do your job.
No.
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 You quit drinking on the job. You understand me?
Whatever.
You punk ass. You get your ass back in there. You don't look back here again.
What's this about?
Is that a problem?
Oh, great, man. Whew. I don't condone that. I don't. But it is funny to watch. I don't condone that. Cops have a really hard job, guys. They do. 1 minute they're fucking scraping a family off of a goddamn road. The next minute they're taking a Walmart call for a fucking petty theft shoplifter who has MRSA and fentanyl on him. It's not an easy job. But that is funny to watch, though. He kept his cool really good. He was a little pushy, but you know, I think he did a really good job keeping his cool. Anyways, that guy was kind of looking for it, and yeah, okay, whatever. I doubt he was drinking right then, but we need more auditors. They need to direct their energy in a better spot. You know, some cops, yeah, absolutely. Not all. God. Dude, Carney in the house. Mark Carney. Look at this motherfucker. He can get down, boy. He's got some moves. Dang, I'm loving the energy. Loving it. Come on, Canada. Let's go, Canada. Rocking out to a little Eminem. Good to see. Good to see a little election process going the right way there. Oh, this guy's funny as fuck.
Thank you for calling the Washington, D.C. office of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Our office hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you would like to leave a comment for Congresswoman Greene, please press 2. Work involving a federal agency, please. Congresswoman Greene values your input.
Hey, Marjorie, it's me, Robert F. Kennedy. I went out to Red Lobster tonight, and I took 2 lobsters out of the tank. I was pretty certain they were talking to me, but I put them in the bathroom. They're in the toilet tank of the White House. And I need you to go get them, because if they find out I did this, I'm not going to have a job. I need your help, Marjorie. Please. If anybody asks if I went down to that Red Lobster, you haven't heard anything. I promise.
That's your 1 minute reminder to call your representatives with anything concerning. Don't forget. Speaking of representatives.
We had a very detailed conversation. I met with FEMA Director Cameron Hamilton earlier this week for about an hour and a half. Had a chance to
Americans are standing up. Courier Newsroom, more from Courier. I like them. I'm going to pay more attention to Courier. I haven't heard of them before yesterday, really. But they got some good stuff coming out, looks like. They got it. I think, is that it? Is that everything? We're getting close to the end, guys.
Thank you for calling the Republican staff of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. If you would like to speak to the majority staff, please press 1.
Oh, yeah. Also, guys, we're going to have Kim, my friend, the advocator. She's going to come back with some more pretty soon here. We have to schedule a date. We've been talking about it. We were waiting until after the Easter Pasonki fundraiser, but we will be having her. I also reached out to Paige in Kansas. I'll be having her on at some point. I don't know when, and we're going to do a little promotion for hers as well, because she has helped me behind the scenes a ton. Oh, also, I got an invite to Rick the Ukrainian's channel next week. I believe me and Canty will be on. I haven't talked to Canty yet. I talked to Rick this morning. It sounds like we're dialed in for next Wednesday.
House Oversight Committee Majority Staff, how can I help you?
Hi, I am calling because I just want to, for clarification, make sure, do the Republican staff, particularly Mr. Comer, on the House Oversight Committee, think that the American people are too stupid to understand that what they are doing is very clearly and intentionally trying to instill a fascist government? Particularly with their recent passing of HR.
So, I highly recommend not calling your representatives and talking to them this way. It is better to have an amicable relationship, even if it is someone who is completely against what you believe is the right thing to do. It is better to go with a little sense of humility. It'll go a lot longer as far as building relationship with the people at the counter who's taking the calls. A lot of these people, they're just interns. They're just there for the vibes, right? So you don't have to push them. Like, there's ways to get your point across that are more amicable than this.
HR 1295. It's what they're doing. I'm just wondering if they think we're too stupid to know that that's what they're doing.
They don't, ma'am.
Oh, so they know that we know that that's what they're doing, and they just don't care.
I'm sorry, what, can you...
I'm concerned because they just passed a law to make it so that the executive branch can eliminate government departments, agencies, operations, programs, purge federal employees, and eliminate current regulatory protections without congressional approval. They just did that. They handed basically all of Congress's duties over to the executive branch. That's called authoritarian dictatorship, to allow the president to do all of that without checks and balances. We're aware that that's what they're doing. What I want to know is if they know that we're aware, or if they just really think we're all idiots.
Well, I'm sorry that I can't speak for them, but I can definitely pass along a note of your concerns to our staff for you.
Yeah, fascist governments don't care about citizens' concerns. Tell them shame on them, and that their descendants are going to be ashamed to have their names. I mean, this is disgusting. Make sure to write down that exact, your descendants.
See, that's the vibes you get. They'll hang up on you. That's it. I saw it. I saw that. There's better ways to handle that. That's not going to get you anywhere if you're looking to actually make an impact. I If you guys remember the interview with Kim, that was a really good interview on how to advocate. She is under a Republican representative, and that Republican representative absolutely stands with Ukraine and backed a lot of the proposals that were passed. Like Merck was talking about how he did the same thing at Razom. So there's ways to go about getting your way without being that right there for TikTok clicks. But I thought I'd show that out there anyways. Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, we're just going to wrap it up. Before we do, I've got... God, isn't that fucking great? The hype. The hype from that. This is my special stream right here. Look at that. Kind of creepy, huh? This was my DayZ video game music stream. I just might keep it. I don't know. I might switch it up. I don't know. That's pretty damn... I liked it. Before I go, I want to remind everybody that we are fundraising, an ongoing fundraiser. I think right now we're getting him rail mounts. I don't know. BB's still awake. BB's still in Ukraine. But Dodger. That is Dodger. This is the man we've been helping. My friend we've been helping before the Easter Pisonki fundraiser. I have his PayPal linked in the chat. He's getting some rail mounts, I believe, for night vision to mount onto rifles. But they're little Picatinny rails that fit onto the KA-74s. That's a small thing we're doing. I'm sure there's other things. He's got an open PayPal. Okay, BB went to bed. Yeah. I'll work on the animations. I've got some really good ideas. I might just keep that my DayZ music as well. But anyways, we've got an ongoing fundraiser for Dodger. We changed his call sign. We are keeping it Dodger because he dodges bullets, Abby. Like Boris the Bullet Dodger. He's in the 151st 2nd Rifle Battalion. He is still currently outside of Pokrovsk, defending his country, and we need to make sure he gets home to his family alive. So that's the fundraiser we will continue to do. If you would like to support him, his link is in the chat, and I will also put it in the comments after the stream. If you guys could, after the end of the stream, leave a comment down below. It really helps the algorithm. My channel is slowed down since the Pisonki fundraiser ended for me. I know Canty's still promoting others. Feel free, if you guys want to, I'll put it up here real quick. The Car for Ukraine Easter Pisonki fundraiser is still active. However, since my obligation was complete, I switched to helping my friend because he's in a very dangerous spot. Like, he is in the worst spot of the war. I got a couple pictures sent to me of how many drones are coming over his position, and it's ungodly, the amount of work they have to do. So yeah, looks like Easter Pisonki's at 169,000 euros, 220,000 goal. Suchmimus on top. Ukraine Matters right behind. Laserpig Laser to 3rd place. ATP Geopolitics really picked it up. Rick the Ukrainian coming in at 5th. Looks like they've completed their trucks. Going on a 2nd, perhaps. Shills completed. Silicon Current completed. Canty Loon myself completed. Mercado completed. War Translated coming up. Tawny Fionia coming up. Soy Pill coming up. Baba Yaga holding strong. So Baba Yaga is only running off a little platform off of Blue Sky, but 2,000 donations for that fella. Cutest little thing right there. PSO1 at 1,100. PSO1, shout out to PSO1. I did not know this. PSO1 is a frontline fighter and is currently wounded. So if you guys want to support PSO1, we're at 1158 for PSO1's fundraiser. I did not know that. I found that out recently. Rudy Acosta still staying a strong 1,000. Rudy needs some help there too. On the Edge with Philip Ittner needs some help. Rich from California. This one right here. is very, very close to where I live. We were chatting it up. I'm going to try to get Rich to come to some of the rallies in Northern California with me. Very cool to have him join. You can follow Rich on Blue Sky, Rich from California, Blue Sky, Rich from California, Twitter, Rich from California, Rich from CA, on TikTok as well. And then Eric, I don't know much about Eric. 1,100 euros, probably hasn't started kicking off yet, but going strong there. That's it for me, guys. I got a ton of work to do. Honestly, I've got so much to do in my personal life. I didn't even have time to stream today, but I had to do it. I'm dedicated to this. I've got a ton of work around my house to do. God, I've got a ton of repair to do. I got a ton of everything to do. Yeah, and I'm still gonna keep streaming. I'm still gonna push for this. So yeah. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for putting up with the first 100 days of Trump. Let's stay optimistic about the future. I feel great things are going to happen with the midterms, guys. So stand by. I'll talk to y'all later.
Motherfucker, not fella, drama.
You called Green Moscow Marjorie. The nickname seems to have really taken off.
Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my party, I put that on my family. 14th District, Georgia Swamp, address me as your MTG. Yeah, you can kiss my ass, but you can never touch my town. I deport all the immigrants so they don't turn my babies brown. MAGA is my party, I'm like a horse head Barbie. Divorce one, he's not hung, but the gym guy is naughty. Hardy magic girl in the Senate, radical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a lie, call me if you need no truth. See them other Republicans, they don't ever leave the booth. I'm a conspiracy loser, I got no solid takes, but Jewish space lasers be burning up your Golden Gate Bridge. My IQ is less than your fridge and the freezer, and we stunning like Muga Golden Gate Bridge. My IQ is less than your fridge and the freezer. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Call myself a winner, yeah. And if I met Jesus, I would poison him at dinner. I'm the editor, but not for fella drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that twerk in my trunk. Got my hand on daddy trunk, so I can feel his lump. I'm yelling moga nasty, till my throat is raspy. Old, rich and trashy, I be where the cash be. You can't find that. Think you need a Google map. My Putin handler will poison all your kitty cats. Now Google that, dummies follow me on Twitter. I claim to read the Bible, but I be lying out my shitter. You're a lame ass sinner, I call myself a winner. And if I met Jesus, I would poison him at dinner. I'm the editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. Shitting on Ukraine with no shame, just to see the loss. Which means Natalie getting over me. Russian propaganda be pumping out my ovaries. And we starting life, not for fella drama. And basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that twerk in my trunk. Got my hand on daddy Trump, so I can feel his lump. Talk to her, got you spitting on my bits. And nigga fellas always repping my bong hits. We wipe wipe you out like toilet paper does the shits. Serve you up like cheesy eggs, bacon, and some grits. We are in your walls and we better than your cause. My Shiba Inu hungry, gonna bite you with his jaws. Designer keyboard ready for our pause. We posted memes, original with no flaws. We phone controls online for the cause. We never slow down, sleep or take a pause. We rolling deep in the fetty, that's our cause. We fundraising money, phone controls and breaking the laws. And we crazy smooth brain, don't ignite us. Bump until all my phalanges get rheumatoid arthritis. And that's why nobody ever wanna fight us. Needful fellas never stop like a trainer virus. And we barking, biting, bonking, biting, wagging tails when we hit the night and sparking, lighting, igniting like a bomb. No fuse though. Naval fellas be better than all your bots know. And we got no leader, I am the boss. 10,000 deep when we creep, ain't no time to floss like an owl. We don't sleep, we about that box. Telegram to the X, we about the cause. And our moves are so fluid like we made of water. Blowing warships up, you ran out of solder. You might think you're hot, but my game is harder. Take a chick to the tunnel like up to a Goddard. Till the end we won't let, that's all we gotta do. Tearing up the set with Nate, Bong his crew. We bustin' rhymes in the beats like all the fellas do. Better check yourself before my doggies do. Got you spitting on my bits. The NAFO fellas always reppin' with bong hits. We wipe you out like toilet paper does the shits. Serve you up like cheesy eggs, bacon, and some grits. We are in your walls and we better than your cause. My Shiba Inu hungry.